beautiful people. Welcome back to Stormy Talks Real Estate. I'm Stormi Stewart and I am a local realtor with eXp Realty here in Brunswick County, North Carolina. So in this week's video, we are going to go over some of the downsides to Brunswick County. Every area has them, so we're just going to kind of brush over those here. If you are still one of those people who are looking to sell, buy, or invest in Brunswick County, please go ahead and check out my contact information in the description box below. There you'll be able to go ahead and set up your first free consultation with me. All right, now let's go ahead and get on to some of the downsides of Brunswick County, North Carolina. The first major downside that we're going to go over is actually the wildlife here in the area. Since this was a swamp area before it had been settled and developed into the towns of Leland, Southport, Oak Island, Winnebago, Belleville, all those little towns. It has a lot of different wildlife here that is pretty much preserved. You can't just have animal control come and get them. One of the main ones being gators, alligators. They're everywhere. They're in neighborhoods, they're on golf courses, they're in the roads. You are going to see at least one alligator if you move to this county. There are multiple gators living in the retention ponds here in our neighborhood in Mallory Creek, so they're everywhere. And animal control isn't going to remove them for the most part. I think they have to be pretty big for animal control to actually come and get them. So you're just going to have to learn to live with the gators. Don't feed them. I would suggest putting a fence around your backyard to keep the gators and the coyotes and, or what I've heard, even black bears out of your yard and away from your pets and your small children. You also do need to worry about hawks in the area if you have smaller animals such as cats or small dogs. So you would want to keep an eye on them even in your fenced in backyard because they can fly over fences. So yeah, that's the main thing I would tell you about the wildlife here in this area. Second downside to living in the Brunswick County area is there is a lot of flooding, especially in northern Brunswick County, the Leland, Belleville, Winnebago areas. When it's rainy season, you are probably going to see flooding. Hurricanes and the tropical storms will always put you under a flooding advisory here in this county, and you will see flooding pretty much every single time, to the point where you would not be able to really drive around on the roads during the heavy rain. It is something that is also why a lot of real estate agents in the area do strongly advise that you get flood insurance on top of your home insurance, because this area is a flooding zone. So going ahead and warning you here now, because that's one of the main things I've seen a lot on the community groups where they say that they were not warned about the flooding in the area. You have been warned. There is flooding in the area during major storms. One of the major things I also see in those community chats about downsides to Brunswick County would be the education system. Now, I have not personally experienced the education system yet here in the county because my children are 2 and under. I have a toddler and a 3-month-old, so I have not actually experienced the public school system, but my toddler is in a private school, Confident Kids Academy here in Leland, and she has been doing great there. Love it. So right now, private schools, at least, I think, thumbs up. But again, I haven't experienced the public schools. From what I've seen, it's been very underwhelming. The reviews aren't good on education here right now, so hopefully bringing in more people, it being one of the fastest growing counties in North Carolina, will help boost the tax money and the public education by the time my daughter gets there and my son. I'm hoping. If not, then we might be looking private school route for actual grade school as well. That would be the third major downside to this county. And finally, we're going to go over the last major downside, which is people report hearing gunshots sometimes in the neighborhood because a lot of the people who have lived here in Brunswick County for pretty much their entire life still think of this as a rural area and the country. They do not realize that Leland is now one of the fastest growing cities in the state and that they are within city limits. They don't understand that if you could see your neighbor's house behind you, you probably should not be shooting in that direction. So a lot of times it's target practice, it's not violent crime going on. But again, hopefully that is something that will be resolved within the next couple of years. So that is it on all of the major downsides to Brunswick County, North Carolina. The wildlife and the flooding, you're probably not going to be able to do much about. You're just going to have to learn to deal with that if you want to live here. And then hopefully the gunshot issue and the education issue will resolve itself within the next year or so. So I hope you enjoyed my content. If you did, subscribe to this channel and join me on Fridays when we talk about real estate from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I will also try to have some other experts in the field on that live chat as well. Also, if you do like my content and want to see more from me, check out my sister channels. Girls Rock Productions is a channel where I do a lot of my hobbies, art, music, things like that. I also teach guitar lessons, basically songs and their chords and strumming patterns, Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I teach a song that I'm playing on Mondays on Wednesdays. So all you have to do to tune into that is just, again, subscribe to the channel and you can join in that live chat. And then Shitsus and Giggles is my other sister channel. That one is a link to a nonprofit directory that I run. We are donating any proceeds to local animal shelters to help pay for the vet bills, food, supplies, and even help find adopters and fosters in the area. So if you want to donate to that, you also can do that. And check out the Shitsus and Giggles channel for videos on there. All right, I will see you later. Bye.